Hi everyone, welcome to Oil Camp. It's Jennifer Gilman here again, and I'm going to teach you about cooking with essential oils. By now you realize, yes, you can use the doTERRA essential oils internally. So today I'm using grapefruit actually, all right? I like grapefruit in my water. And this is just one of the many oils I'll use in my water, 1 or 2 drops. Remember, you're always using glass or stainless steel in your water, okay? So make sure when you're drinking, glass or stainless steel, no plastic, all right? One of the easy ways to figure out whether your doTERRA oil can be taken internally or not is to actually look at the supplement fact panel on the back. It's a box, and right underneath it, it says, gives instructions actually for internal use. So this says dilute 1 drop in 4 ounces of liquid, okay? So there's 22 oils in the doTERRA collection that can be used internally. And we're not going to talk about all 22, but I am going to introduce you to several besides oregano. One of the really big things to keep in mind is we want to use a carrier when we're cooking. And the reason is because that allows for proper disbursement of the oils amongst the food. So for instance, say you've got this great pot of chili going, and you decide to put maybe some cumin essential oil or some other oil in there, and you drop it directly into the pan. Well, when you do that, then there's possibly some bites that you might take with no cumin and some that will. So easier disbursement means using a carrier. There's 2 types of carriers, liquid or a solid, all right? Liquid could possibly be olive oil, a vinegar, or some raw honey. Those are just a few examples of a liquid carrier. For solid carriers, you might use some sea salt, any kind of sugars that you're using, maybe some like almond flour. If you're baking, you can always put the oils in a solid carrier as well. So we're going to make a few things today. One I already have made up just for sense of time, and this is something I use constantly. It is a sea salt. So I use Celtic sea salt. You can use Himalayan or any other salt that you want. But by having this in a mason jar ready at all times, I don't need to worry about making it for every single recipe I have. And I decided to put some oils in that are pretty much good for most dishes. And look what I did. You recognize those little stickers? That came from your enrollment pack. So definitely don't throw out those stickers. You're going to use them. So to make it easier for me, I went ahead and just put the stickers of which oil is in this Celtic sea salt. So I'll give you the recipe here. Generally, I would use about 2 ounces of whatever salt you decide on. And then for this one, I did 1 drop of thyme oil, 1 drop of basil, 1 drop of marjoram. Then we've got 1 drop of black pepper and 1 drop of rosemary. All right, so that's what I did. And then once I dropped that in using my glass mason jar, I used just a fork to kind of stir that up. Oh my God, that smells so good. So now I have this ready at all times in my pantry every time I'm cooking, and I'll just go ahead and use it. I'm running a little low, so I'll probably have to make some soon. All right, the next thing is honey. You could also use sugar for this recipe, and I don't really use sugar much in my house. I use raw honey all the time. So same thing, glass mason jar I found to be the best, but any kind of glass container. And then guess what? Did the stickers again. All right. So generally with honey or sugar, you would take about 2 ounces. All right, this is a 4-ounce jar, so I'm going to go ahead and fill it up about halfway with raw honey. I just ran out of this, so I'm really excited that I needed to do this video today because I can make more. All right, so now with that honey, so I got that half full there with raw honey. Yum. I'm going to go ahead and put my cinnamon essential oil, just 1 drop. Careful with this one. This one's real. This is a hot oil, just like oregano, so you would always dilute it no matter what you were doing with it. Love cinnamon. Oh my God, it smells so good. Now wild orange, I use 2 drops of this. So we'll just do 2 drops, 1, 2 of that. Oop, I think a 3rd one went in. It's okay. And then we've got some ginger. I'll do 1 drop of ginger. All right. I like to put several oils in this one. On Guard Protective Blend that you learned about already. I'm going to put 1 drop of that in there. And the last one is cardamom. I love cardamom. Great for respiratory health and also digestive system, but I love it in my honey. I like it, the taste of this combination very much. If you don't have all these oils, you can use what you have. Maybe it's wild orange and On Guard. That's a great place to start. Now all those oils are in there. I need to stir it up really well now. Now what might I be able to use this honey for besides putting it in my tea? I love getting some fresh fruit and putting some of this honey and tossing it together. That is so good. What a great dessert. So some fresh fruit, whether it's watermelon, blueberries, bananas, apples, whatever you want, put a dollop of this honey on there and toss it. Oh my God, so good. Anything that calls for sugar and any kind of baking recipe, you can always add this. So lots of different ways you can use this honey once it's made. I'm telling you, once you make this and try it, you're not going to want to do anything else because what a great recipe. So good. So that's the honey. The last thing we're going to make is a dressing. All right. So again, we're using a liquid here, and this is just a simple vinaigrette. So I'm going to use some olive oil, and I'm going to use my measure and measure 2 ounces of olive oil. That looks about good. And we're going to pour that in. All right. And you can make more, you can double the recipe, but just to get you a starting point here. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my apple cider vinegar. I'm going to shake this a little bit because the Bragg's has the mother in it, the fermented, and I love using apple cider vinegar, but I also like balsamic vinegar. I'm just going to do 1 ounce of this. I went over a little bit, that's all right. Okay, put that over here. Add the apple cider vinegar. Then this recipe actually calls for a little bit of Dijon mustard. From my local food co-op, I actually buy a spicy raw mustard, kind of similar. And I'm going to measure out, let's see, half a teaspoon, sorry about that. So half a teaspoon of this. And just put that in there. Get that in there, there we go. All right, now a little bit of that salt, okay? And see, I have a little black pepper in the black pepper essential oils in here, so it works out really well. The recipe calls for a pinch. So I'm going to be a little generous because I really like this mixture. A generous pinch. So again, just to recap the recipe for the vinaigrette, I've got 2 ounces of olive oil, 1 ounce of vinegar. I've got a half a teaspoon of a Dijon mustard or something like that, and a pinch of salt and pepper or your salt mixture that you made. Now when it comes to the oil, I want to add 3 drops of lemon. You learned about this one. Love the lemon. So 1, 2, 3. Oop, 4th one went in. And then our oregano oil. Guess what? So potent, so strong, needs to be diluted at all times. I only need 1 drop of this because it's so flavorful. So let's be careful here. Can I do it? I did it. 1 drop. Yay! So 1 drop of the olive oil. Now I'm just going to put my top on, shake that up, and it's ready to use. Let me smell that. Oh wow, that's amazing. Again, make sure you're using glass or stainless steel. This is also another olive oil that I always have in my kitchen. I've got olive oil with rosemary and lemon essential oil because this is something I like to drizzle on steamed vegetables, maybe over a little baked potato, over some grilled chicken or grilled fish. So I like to just have this on hand at all times. So hopefully today you've learned a little bit about cooking with essential oils and the importance of using carriers. Have a great day, everyone.